To this webinar about how to grow your software business internationally using a limited budget. My name is Steen Helmer and I'm an executive partner with the consulting business TBK Consult, and I have been a part of IMCP for 11 years. Right now I am serving in the EMEA leadership team within the membership committee, and I'm a part of the international partner-to-partner group as well as an advisor. The situation is that many Microsoft partners has the ambition of growing their business into other countries or even globally. A lot of these Microsoft partners comes, of course, in different sizes, different types, and very few of them have deep pockets. So they are in a situation where they cannot afford to hire expensive consultants or build up their own organization in the different countries where they want to grow in. So how do they actually do this in another way? I'm very often being contacted by Microsoft partners that has decided already to grow internationally, and they actually do not know how to prepare on this journey or how to execute this journey. So they are looking for getting some inspiration, some knowledge from people that have already done that and already has some experiences on exactly this. So I hope that I can, with this webinar, inspire some of you how you maybe could prepare for this whenever you come to the point of growing into other countries, or maybe some of you already are in the middle of the journey, and I hope I can give you as well some very concrete best practices, some knowledge, some experience and inspiration. So let's go and look a little bit at the agenda for this webinar. This is what you will expect that I will go through during these next around 40 minutes, I believe. First, I'll talk about some methods and some frameworks that make sense for you to get to know of and to use to prepare and build up the foundation for your international growth. Then I will continue to share some knowledge about the physical and what I call the virtual company. I will come back to that in more details. I will go through the 7 approaches, I call it, finding and winning customers in foreign markets, and some considerations on your business model, how this will maybe be changed, or how you will be able or need to change this when you grow internationally. Then it will be important for you to find some customers in these new markets, so I will touch upon how you do qualified lead generation when you are going to grow internationally. And of course, if you're not going to do it directly yourself with your organization, then maybe some of you are going to consider building up a partner strategy. So I will talk a little bit about the establishing a successful partnership with local businesses. Again, it will also be a task for you to choose which markets that you maybe are going for, and how do you actually choose which market would be relevant for you to go at. And at last, there are the human dimension of your international growth, which I will touch upon as well as the last agenda point here, and ending up with a summary. But there's a another point as well, as you can see in the agenda, there will be a free gift for you of a value of 500 euros. So I will suggest that you will keep on listening until the end, and then I will reveal for you what it is, and of course you will know how exactly you will be able to get this gift in the end of this webinar. So talking about a little bit about how this content and how I will be able to talk about this area. So we have just recently released our new book called Going Global on a Shoestring. This book is written by my business partner Hans-Peter Beck, and if you haven't heard about this term shoestring before, then I can give you the definition of that is if you do something or make something using a very little money, then it's actually called a shoestring approach. So if you didn't know that, now you already know something new for today. One thing to find out if your value proposition is working with your selected audience in a specific foreign market. And for that you could use the value proposition design framework, which you see in this slide on the left corner, which I would suggest could be one of the frameworks that really would help you to have a structure for you to define and to describe your value proposition for your different target audiences. This framework comes out from the business model canvas, which you can see on the right corner, where you will be able to define your business in general, your business model, and you will also be able to define the environment around your business model. Talking about the environment, that is one thing that you will know for sure will be different from the country where you are right now. So every time you go into a new country, you can be sure of that the environment will be different. So be having or getting insights about both the market situation, the situation about competitors, situation on the technology side and financial side will be very important for you to know, because it will either give you some limitations to your business model, or it could actually give you some opportunities for you with your business model in this new market. Growing in a new market will also put you in this situation that you will be seen as a brand new, not known business, and probably you will not be able to use your local reference customers. So looking at this framework in the middle called the diffusion of innovation, then you will be seen as a new company, not very known. So your new customers will actually, you should see them as innovators or early adopters, or people that really are willing to buy from a company that are not very well known. But this curve, of course, you can lower the risk on this curve by going in a partnership with the local partners as one thing, because they already maybe are known by your target audience, and you will get easier access to the customers through these partners. But talking about partners, I will get back to that later. So just having talked about the virtual business, then let's put some comments on the physical company. So the physical business is when the revenue generation require a face-to-face meeting with your customers. And there are plenty plenty of ways of winning customers in foreign markets without having a local subsidiary, as we just mentioned with the virtual one. But there would be countries where you actually need to have this physical business. But of course there are a big risk building up a local subsidiary because you need to hire local staff within this business. And there are typically two mistakes that you would want to avoid, and one of them is about the local staff hiring. Either it's marketing or sales staff, or it's business development. So let me talk a little bit about when it will be relevant for you to hire one or the other. So if you find out that your business model is not working, or if your value proposition is not working with your selected audience, then it's not time for you to hire any marketing or sales staff, because what is needed here is actually the business development guys. It does not help you anything just to hire some new salespeople because maybe the first one didn't work for them, and then just go and change the salespeople and get some other ones. If you still are using the same approach to the market with the same definition of target audience and the same value proposition, you will still get the same results or lack of results, I would say. So back again into the office and find out what the reason is that your business model is not working. And whenever you find a way of tuning it, turning it into changing it, and so it works, then you can go and find some sales and marketing people again. The other one, hiring wrong people and lack of management. Again, there will be different people. Some people you hire locally, they actually need some local management and will not be satisfied with management abroad or being managed from your local company. So let's move on to the next. These 7 approaches you could use to both find and win customers in other countries. They could work for you in a mix, and you could also change or choose just one of them. But let's just go through them so you will get an idea of what they mean. The first one, win your domestic market first. It is not for all of you to go internationally right now, because why should you try to grow in other markets if you haven't got any success in your domestic market? Then it would be much more relevant for you and also cheaper for you to grow locally. This one we will call the more traditional approach. So start getting the success in your domestic market, and after that you can go and look at what other markets would be relevant for you. Establishing local partnerships. So local partnerships can help you with insights and getting closer to your target audience faster. This one we will call the indirect model. And number 3 is opportunity-based growth. You could go and attend a lot of different conferences or international events, collecting leads, attending these events and activities, and looking at all the opportunities that will arise from those activities. And this one we will call the unexpected opportunity. Number 4 is the more niche segmented approach. So let's say you serve a very special market segment with a minimal competition, where there maybe are no local equivalent to what you are offering. Then it's this one which we will call the narrow gorge. And number 5, to grow internationally through local customers. So that situation is whenever your existing customers want to use your product or your services in their international operations, then that will be an opportunity for you to grow your business into other countries where your customers already have their offices, and using that as a foundation for you to grow further into these countries. And this one we will call the Trojan horse. Number 6, joint venture partners. You can find local partners that are prepared to develop your market without having a local operation. So joint venture partners would also be an opportunity for you, and this one we call the Navision model, and the reason for that is of course that was exactly the model that Navision used when they started to grow internationally. The last one, number 7, is that you have the opportunity to outsource the job. So with the increasing demand for business development resources, there are more and more agencies, consulting businesses that offer to walk the first mile for you. Exactly as we do in TBK Consult for our customers, and there are a lot of other consulting businesses as well. So whenever you consider to grow internationally, you should probably look at one of these 7 approaches, or maybe a mix of them, to see which of these approaches would actually make the best fit for you to grow in what market you're actually going to choose. I mentioned that there could be something for you to consider around your business model. And fundamentally there are 2 aspects to consider. Either issues related to customer and market acceptance, and or issues related to your internal operation. There are, in every country has its own business model environment. So we talked about your business model, and looking at that first, then yes, you should consider what parts of your business model should be managed locally from the country where you already are in, and what parts of the business model maybe you should consider executing in the new market, if any of them. But that is something that you will be able to take some decision on yourself, and you can just choose whatever parts of your business model that makes sense for you to execute locally in your domestic market or in the new market. Looking into the environment described by these 4 areas, the trends, the market, the economy and the industry, is something else. Every market has its own environment around the business model, and it is different when you move from country to country. Let's look at the trends area. Could maybe be some differences in technology. Your solution might depend on specific technologies which maybe are not offered in general in the country, or is maybe not offered in the quality that you need or are looking for. Looking into the market where your customers are, there could be some differences in legislation. There obviously in many countries are cultural differences compared to your country, and in order for you to be better at understanding the cultural differences, I would suggest that you look at the company Hofstede Insights. They have developed a framework that could help you better understand and compare the way that you do business compared to how they do business in, for example, in one or several other countries. Could also be the way that you, the differences that you taking decisions, the differences in how you look at organizations, the structure there, and many other things. But Hofstede Insights could be a great framework for you and a great tool for you to look at. In the industry where you are yourself with your business, then you as a vendor, there could be some differences for you how you would be able to run your business, the conditions that you will be met with, or how your target audience actually is looking at you. Big companies can afford to spend a lot of money making mistakes here, but the shoestring approach is for you. So that is why I would suggest that do your own analysis around this business model environment, what you need to look at and what you maybe need to change in your business model. It could be easily done by using different information that you could get access to from your desktop, or finding businesses that already have the insights within your specific local market. Knowing your market is an ongoing process, and use any opportunity to ask your customers a lot of questions to collect intelligence and knowledge about how they are working and how they look at the market. That will actually give you a competitive advantage if you are on top of all this knowledge. So a little bit about the internationalization and localization. The two main areas are for you to prepare your product for localization and to localize it for the individual country. For many of you it actually matters to localize your solution, and for some of you it is not needed. But most software businesses need to consider some kind of localization, maybe only looking at the language, or maybe some legislation as well, or looking into different processes that is being done. Language-wise, I will always suggest that you use English as your reference base language, and if possible, get your customers to participate in this localization and get them to tell you what is needed to get a more localized version of your solution. Then I would also suggest that you look for markets with either no or maybe few competitors. That will be easier for you to manage in the beginning. And for you that have the public sector as a target audience, then be prepared that it can be a challenge to approach this target audience. They always prefer a very good matching on the solution, and they are looking for a very low risk. Another place where you will be able to find more information about that, I know that Microsoft is offering an excellent overview of different information about localization and issues around this on their website. So please reach out to me if you can't find it yourself. I'll be happy to help you and point you in the right direction. So whenever we have found our market and chose the market and we know exactly what kind of target audience we are looking at, and we also have a very sharp value proposition, then we need to do some lead generation, and we also probably would like to position ourselves as a thought leader within this market. And I do know that with only one slide about how to do this qualified lead generation, this is quite ambitious, but you will actually be able to get more insight about this in a specific webinar which we delivered the other day, and you can get access to the recording of this webinar where we really got into the detail about these steps here. So please either reach out to IMCP or reach out to me if you would like to get access to the recording of that webinar. But if we just go through the topics of what you what you should think of, then first really get to know your target audience. Make a description, make a definition of your ideal customer profile and buyer personas, and get to know exactly how their buying journey looks like. When you know about that, then you should find out how you can create the right content for them. And by the right content, I do not mean, it's not about having content about your product or functions or features. It's very much more about some value-based content. Next thing is having this content. Of course, there are several ways and formats there where you could share this content with your target audience, and one way would be to build a blog. A good suggestion would be to have a blog on your website, because from this blog you will be able to share the content on, for example, different social media, and you will be able to really position yourself as a thought leader if you have some good content that really talks about your customers' situation and your customers' different challenges and so forth, and not so much about your product. Sharing that information, one way would be to share it on different social media. So you should choose what kind of social media platforms would be the right for you to be at and to prioritize. For many of you who are selling to B2B, who are doing B2B business and selling to B2B customers, then probably LinkedIn would be the best platform for you. But for some of you, maybe even Facebook and Twitter or maybe other social medias would be perfect platforms for you as well. To be relevant for your target audience, whenever they find you, they will probably, they can find your normal website, of course, but they will also find you on the different social media that you have chosen. It's important for you to really optimize the content on your social media profiles, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or others, so your target audience really can see themselves within your content on your profiles. You should then make sure that you post and engage with your target audience on a regular basis, or frequently every week, maybe every day, and then make sure that you follow your customers and get insights from your customers as well. So very good insights, being close to your customers, also give you the information about when will it be the right timing for you to start up a dialogue and reach out to them. It is a matter of building up some volume on your network, so increase your first level network is important. The more people you have in your network, the more people that you know, the better you will be reaching out into your target audience. And of course, it's important for you to interact with them. And interact, it's not only about you sharing information, it's very much also about you commenting or liking or in any other way interacting with your customers' content or what they are saying on these platforms. Then again, in the end, it is about getting the customers in a dialogue with you. So the target should be for you to get them offline from the different digital platforms and get them into a dialogue, into a meeting. It's not with the situation that we are looking at right now, it will not always be for you to have them in a face-to-face meeting. So you will not be able to exactly get them off the digital platforms, because many of the meetings will of course be in either Teams or any other place. But what I mean by getting the conversation offline is to move it from the social media platforms and then into some other kind of face-to-face meeting, whether it's a physical or virtual meeting. So this approach should give you a really predictable and qualified lead generation with a shoestring budget. This you can do using very little money. You don't have to buy ads from these platforms. This can be done only by really knowing the specific methods and some specific tools that you have to use. Some of you will end up choosing a partner strategy, and establishing a partner strategy that you should know your partner's business model. Using a third party to distribute your product and serve your customers is primarily a scalability tool and seldom a shoestring approach. So it can actually be very expensive. You need to know your partner's business model, and you need to have a very attractive partner value proposition, which is another thing than your customer value proposition. Within your partner value proposition and your approach to the partners, you need to have a partner program to offer to them, which maybe contains some terms and conditions for the cooperation, and it should also contain some partner training, not partner training on your product only, but also some partner sales training as well, in order for them to understand which are your ideal target audience and what are your customer value proposition. So what are you looking for when you look for partners? Are you looking for one or more partners, and how many do you actually need in each country or each region where you're going to execute? Also, what type of partners do you actually need? Is it normal resellers you need? Is it value-added resellers? Is it maybe system integrators or OEM partners? Or do you actually need to have a two-tier model where you have distributors and they have some partners that they have in their partner program, or agents, or do you actually need to set up a joint venture with a business locally in the market? There are a lot of types of partnerships that you could or should consider. An important thing is to look into the partner value chain, which is shown on this slide here. So this describes, as you can see, all the processes in your cooperation with your partners. For which of these activities do you expect your partners to assume responsibility? And for which of the different processes can the partner expect you to take responsibility? There are, typical issues running a partner strategy. It will for sure add some complexity to your existing business model. And if you just have a good ideal description of your partner profile, it will not be difficult for you to find those partners, and it will probably either be difficult for you to establish a partnership with them. But the difficult thing and the challenge probably will be to enable the partners to execute in the market, because that really takes some insights and some knowledge that you maybe have, but that your partners doesn't have yet. So it's really here that they need some help from you, and where you need to both train them and go and co-sell with them in the beginning. So which one will be your next market and with the best market fit? Picking markets is or can be difficult, but there is fortunately a shoestring approach for that as well that can help you. How do you then find and choose the next market for you? Many businesses make the decision too much based on the feeling in their stomach and not that much on facts. But I would suggest that you do or invest in a market analysis, and that doesn't have to be very expensive, because it can be done with a good desktop research, using some local freelancers as well, and maybe also using some local potential customers, and all these, either the customers or the freelancers, you will be able to find them on LinkedIn with the right search criteria. Ideally, if you should do this market analysis, you would prefer to use some kind of a decision matrix where you can rate the most critical characteristics, and by that finding out which of the market that has the best fit for you, your target audience, and your value proposition. I would suggest again, when you look for the markets, the best way would be to look for markets that maybe have your own language, or maybe an English language if you are from some of the smaller countries in the Nordics, then going for maybe countries with an English language, or looking for countries that looks a little bit like your own. Ideally, you should go for countries that have a similar culture as your own, and are doing business and taking decisions, business decisions like you do. Don't only go for and follow any hype, and be prepared to invest and engage if you find some genuine commitment in some markets. Looking into the human dimension of your international journey. Really great performing companies have very good leaders, and what you should focus on is choosing the team first, and then choose what these people you have chosen to work with, what their task and jobs should be. This is an issue that is rarely included in books on business methodology. Often is actually heard that we had the wrong people in the project, and that was the reason why we didn't get success. But get the right people on the bus and make sure to get them in their right seats. That is actually the way to get success. So choosing the team first is what you should do. When you receive some bad news from the market, whenever something is happening and you find out and you see that you are not succeeding, then you have to shift your attention and review your target audience, and actually review both your value proposition and your strategy as well. It is probably not the people that will be the reason for this. It is probably something in your strategy, or in your business model, or in your value prop, or in your target audience. What I mean by being a hedge dog is that the hedge dog has a world-class defense system with all its spikes. So for you, it is about to focus on what you do better than everyone else, in order for you to keep the competition away from you. Yeah, that was just what I meant with this. The nurture, about what you should nurture in your business is really focusing, having a discipline, or you could say having a culture of discipline. Having a discipline and some structure, and really being aligned of your strategy, that would help you a lot. So you actually all know what tasks you have, what goal you have, what are you measuring on, so you are not misunderstanding something. You can disagree on something that will create some good discussions, but being misunderstood, that could really create and takes a lot of time and be very expensive for you. So have a discipline of some structure and be aligned on your strategy. That would be a great help. These 4 ingredients you should try to fit into your business going global, using this shoestring approach, as we have talked about. So helping you could be having a superior value proposition, not only one, but of course having both one towards customers, and if you choose to go with partners, having this partner value proposition in place as well. A very clear and competitive position. So make sure that you know the surroundings of your business in the country, called the business model environment. So the better you know that, the better you will be able to position you in a very good competitive, with a very good competitive angle and position. Timing is crucial. So if you haven't got success in your domestic market, then maybe it is not the best timing for you to consider other markets. So timing is one of the things that you should look into. When would be the right timing for you? And of course there could be other reasons around the timing as well. A talented business development team, as I just mentioned here, the human dimension, it is very much about people. So finding the right people, whether it's local people or coming from the country where you already are, or you need to find local people in the country where you are going to grow in. Talented people and the right people is crucial in order for you to get success. So just making a summary here around this, I had talked about some frameworks, the foundation for you, which could be important, having this structured process using some tested frameworks and methods. Select your market, not by the feeling in your stomach, but based on facts. Decide for either using a physical or virtual business, or maybe a mix of those. Decide for a direct or indirect go-to-market strategy, or maybe a mix of that. And you should also look for how to decide for your lead generation strategy, whether you are going to look for leads using social media platforms, or a more traditional lead generation with direct mailing or anything else. And then choose your team again very carefully. So that was some inspiration from my side about how you could choose your way of growing globally using a shoestring approach, which is for you not to use too much money on that journey, but using more some well-tested methods and approaches, and well-tested frameworks as well. So if you need any help or inspiration to continue on this, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And the gift I mentioned in the beginning is what you can see on this slide here, a free one-to-one 60-minute online session with me, where we can talk about your specific situation and your journey growing internationally into other countries. And I'll be happy to give you any good inspiration and answer any questions that you have during this session. So please just use this link on the slide here, or the link will also be sent out together with the recording of this webinar. And you can also just visit my LinkedIn profile, where you will be able to find a link as well to book me directly, looking into my calendar. So thanks a lot for now, and let me have some questions for you. I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you.